Hi guys, welcome back to Lunatic Astrology. Yes, I am your astrologer, Lori Lothian, and today we're going to talk about the new moon at 8 degrees of Virgo on the 27th of February, which can bring and portend great personal healing as well as collective. This moon is on an asteroid named the sun is on the asteroid America in Pisces, and across the way, the moon is on the fixed star Alioth, which we'll be getting into some detail about. We'll also do the all signs, and you'll look for the timestamps in the description box below and in the comments box to access the all signs later on. You want to look for your ascendant first, then the sun and moon, depending on if you're born at night or day. Now, before I get started on this moon, check my description box below. You'll see what I'm offering. I have my All Signs 2021 video on sale for $39. These are 60-minute videos, all signs for 2021. You can also get them a la carte for $14.95. My sister of blind faith readings, yes, my biological sister, also has a half price special on her year ahead. Check the description box. Thanks, guys. You might notice that I got my hair dyed purple. So yeah, it's totally what happens when Venus is in Aquarius. I'm Aquarius rising. I have a stellium. Like everybody's ganged up a party in my first house right now. So it's been pretty intense. So let's get going. Okay, so first of all, let me say what I think about this Alioth sitting on the moon. And just to be clear, the moon is on the actual 27th, but in Eastern Standard Time, the perfection of the moon is like 3 a.m. in the morning. So Pacific time is, just past midnight. So, that's exactly kind of when it gets into its perfection. And it's at 8.5, well, it's really at 9 degrees. It's at 8 degrees and 57 minutes, so roughly a 9-degree moon. Okay, so if you have any planets at 9 degrees of Virgo, right, then look for that as an important moon for you, especially if it's your rising sign or your sun or moon in that Virgo range. And of course, across the way, similarly, anything around the 8th degree or 9th degree of Pisces, and then crisscross over the fixed signs and ask yourself if you have anything. Oh, sorry. My brain is half on today. Sorry, I still have jet lag from my trip. Sorry, anything crisscrossing, not fixed. Sorry about that. I'm at mutable. Anything crisscrossing over the Sagittarius and Gemini corridor as well that is around that 8-degree mark. We'll get squares from this moon, 8-9 degrees. So pay attention to those angles and whether or not you have planets there. And then you can sort of suss out how important this moon might be for you. So I could also say it this way. If your rising sign is Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, or Sagittarius, or you're a sun, Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, or Pisces, you're really going to feel this moon a lot more strongly than everybody else. That might be more useful for you. So what do I want to say about this? The first thing I want to mention here is that Alioth is an interesting star because I've been trying to research it. I'm finding different takes on it from different people. Oh, I had it marked in here, darn it. Let me grab it again. So I had it marked in one of my books and now I've unmarked it. Let me just pause while I grab the star for us again. Hey guys, sorry about that. So the star in the book, I love this book, The Little Book of Fixed Stars by Elizabeth Hazel. It's a really great book if you really want to have a great resource. And another fixed star book I recommend for you geeks out there, The Fixed Stars in the Chart by Oscar Hoffman. So those are two of my fabulous resources. I have more actually, but those are the ones I've got handy. So so what Elizabeth Hazel has to say about Alioth, which is where this moon sits at the time of this particular moon. So the moon is lined up with that star. She says it's the tail of the bear, which it is. It's in the Virgo constellation. It was the tail of the Ursa Major, the big bear. It's unstable emotions, dangers to pregnancies, birth defects. I know it's whoa, troubles from birth, professional disappointments, family troubles, may produce great achievements in spite of liabilities. Okay, strives for perfection in events and versatile approaches. Now, given that the moon is the mama archetype, and this is like a star that sort of curses things like pregnancies and birth, I think it's more about the collective birth. Okay, we're trying to birth a new world out of the pandemic, out of this time of great disconnection from each other. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually disconnected. Such division going on politically, spiritually in the world right now. So the moon is sitting on the star of that kind of difficulty, and the moon is kind of the mama energy. And across the way is the asteroid America. And so, that can mean North America, the Americas, but I kind of want to say it could very literally be United States of America is going to have a lot of pressure and a lot of energy coming through from this moon. And, technically looking at the US chart, which I'm not going to pull up, but the US Sibley chart makes the US a Sagittarius rising, right? So, and that chart has been extremely useful and accurate when I've been looking at events in the United States predictably. So I'm going to say that it's probably very true. And that means that this moon for the United States is sitting in the, let me double check, 12, 11, 10th house. So it's in the 10th house of the United States chart. So this is like the place of power in the United States. This is like the 10th house of a nation, is like the governance and the bodies that govern. And moon is a female. And so I'm a little bit worried, of course, about the star's not also positive about a female having some difficulty in the US government situation. And this would be someone in power, right? Like a Kamala Harris or something, or senator, not somebody, in the administrative levels. So we'll look for any news cycle about that. Now, on a more cheerful note, there's another way of looking at this Alioth that it comes from Roderick Kidman's approach. And I think it's a he, and his idea is that this is a creation and destruction star. And it can, you can work with courage to bring out strengths, patience, and perseverance, give results. That's a nice spin on that. He also talks about, a little bit more of the darker feminine side, sort of the patriarchal squashing of the feminine. So we could look for some patriarchal squashing of the feminine in a position of power in the United States during the actual full moon in Virgo. Now, Virgo rules health and well-being, physical, medicine, and we've got, a pandemic. And so this could be an improvement for the United States and their medical approaches to the pandemic. Like, what give me an example? Well, suddenly decide they're going to do serology testing so they can see who's got antibodies. That would have made sense a long time ago for the whole world, because probably new studies are showing 50% more people have been exposed and have antibodies to COVID than we know. That's the latest modeling. And that's true for around the world. So maybe the United States will announce something, to do with their pandemic approach, to do with medicine and health and wellness around the full moon. It also could mean potentially just people are getting better and the pandemic begins to wane, which we're seeing the numbers dropping dramatically in this wave. So who knows? But there's also the variant that we're worried about. So I'm going to leave the big picture at that. I want to also say that anytime there's a full moon in Virgo, right? Virgo is health, details, work, getting some work done, focus on work. It's a natural energy of, the Virgin Virgo, which I also think is about magic and priestesses. So if you're into magic, it's a pull towards magic. And it's the sun is in Pisces, the transcendent, the spiritual, the lofty, creative, and artistic sentiment. So some people might feel that full moon is a push and pull between those two parts of their life, right? I want to be creative. I want to be vast. I want to be spacious. I want to meditate all day. I want to be creative in my artist studio. I want to write poetry. I want to be a mystic. And then the moon is over there going, no, we're going to work on stuff over here in Virgo. We're going to get to work. Now, there's a positive relationship to Uranus in this chart at the same time, which can bring sudden, unexpected positive developments and surprises. Let me show you guys the chart so you're seeing what I'm seeing. And then we're going to talk about all signs. I'm going to be very brief on the all signs today because it's not a complicated chart in my view. So it's just set for the time of the actual moon in Montreal, Canada. So for me, I get a Capricorn rising during the moon where I live, okay? And midheaven at the time of the moon is a Scorpio, which is kind of cool because I have a Scorpio 10th house. So this could also promise personally to be good for my career stuff. You guys remember to always look at the moon as well. Cast it for your local location at the time of the moon, because it can really tell you a lot about how it might impact you more personally as well, based on you're sitting in the sky. This is the sky in Montreal. What does that sky promise you? So, and I also remind you, full moons are fruition and fullness coming off of a longer arc cycle when there was a new moon 6 months earlier. So let's go into the story generally, and then I'll do all signs. So reminding you that there's the sun at 8 degrees, really it's 9 degrees, and it's co-joined with Venus. Now, Venus is a benefic, and she's exalted in Pisces. So the exalted feminine energy, the exalted friendship, the exalted love relationship, the exalted money story, money on high, you know, it could be like a major surge in the stock market that happens around February 27th, who knows, but it just could be. And then, you know, across the way there's that moon, which we can't see Alioth, he's there, and you can't see Asteroid America, but trust me, he's right there as well. So that exalted Venus could literally be an exalted female character. But then with this Alioth over here, where problems happen for the feminine and the moon being the feminine, it could even be a battle between two female characters in the political structure or leadership structure of the United States, for example. And then, you know, but I do like that benefic exalted Venus is blessing this operation by being in alignment with this sun, and of course, across the way, the moon. Give me a minute. I'm having trouble with my mouse. It's not wanting to move and navigate properly. Mercury retrograde on my tech front, guys. It's been a difficult one. What else can I say? Oh yeah, the Uranian piece. So Uranus, you know, the sky god sitting here at 7 degrees is helping out in a sextile to the sun and a trine to the moon. So that's where we're going to go with the all signs. And if I'm a little bit brisk in my pace, I do apologize, but I do have a client in 20 minutes. So let's see if I can pull off 12 signs in 20 minutes. Okay, so Uranus says happy, positive surprises from Taurus. So we'll focus on where the surprise might come from in this full moon and how it might light up, you know, a new development in each of the signs. So let's get going to Aries. So give me a minute while I move the chart into the month by month. I mean, into the hour by hour. Oh my God, it's been 3 days I've been back, but I'm still not normal. I'm still kind of jet lagged. All right, Aries. Let's get going. Sun, moon, and ascendant. This is happening for you in your natal. The surprise is coming from the Uranian quarter during this moon, lighting up the fullness in the full moon. So a happy surprise is coming for some Aries, sun, moon, and ascendants in the money house. This is about your earnings, the second house where Uranus is. Of course, Uranus has been jolting and changing your earning structure since 2019. For me, it's been creating online courses and doing more readings than I've ever done, and making my money Uranian. Uranus rules astrology. I started doing astrology full time in 2019 when Uranus went into my second house of earnings. So some of you Taurus, Aries are looking at Uranus pivoting the way that money comes to you and revenue comes to you. And Uranus is the god of the internet. Keep that in mind. And we see that this moon brings fullness to the house of work. The place where you are actually doing your work, like this is my kitchen kind of thing, or my living room kitchen combo. Where are you going to change your work routines? What happy news and surprises is going to come that involve an increase in money and in revenue, but also new opportunities in a new means and ways in which work shows up for you. So happy surprises, full fruiting on this full moon, and definitely over the at least the 2 weeks that follow. Taurus, sun, moon, and ascendant. So the moon is shining in the 5th house of your creative expression, your artistry, the muse, love affairs, pregnancy, and childbirth. A little heads up. We heard how Alioth was bad for pregnancies and stuff. So I'm not going to have a doomsday story for some Taurus, sun, moon, and ascendants, but just be cautious and make sure you get your checks done and cross your T's and dot your I's around fertility and pregnancy stuff. In the meantime, the energy of the sudden happy surprise is coming at you, right? Or the juicy goodness that Uranus can propel as an unexpected opportunity, let's call it that, coming out of the Taurian element of the chart. And that's like, you know, that trine is earth to earth, is coming from your 1st house of your body, your identity, your character. So, you know, something about you being you and some unexpected development is going to harness goodness toward creativity, love affairs, independent business enterprise, pregnancy and childbirth. I think even though Alioth is there on the moon, I think Uranus is trumping it with that trine. Like, so if you've had trouble conceiving, good news, right? If you don't want a child, be careful, because Uranus is like the unexpected, and unexpected pregnancy for some Tauruses could happen. Gemini, sun, moon, and ascendant. This is happening as a fruiting and a fruition in the house of home. What is going on for you guys where there's fullness in the place that you are living? You're really your real estate, your land, your house, your apartment, to some degree, the city that you live in, and maybe to do with your mom, because sometimes the fourth house can represent mom, and now it's the moon in the house of mom. So yeah, so good news about mom, maybe, because unexpected goodness coming from the Uranus and Taurus energy. Now, this is very subtle for you, Geminis, because it's a house of past lives or inner life or inner reflection, or it's hidden from your own view. So certainly I'd say whatever the surprise is, it could come from a dream at night, a meditation, a reverie, an insight, and a download connecting to the moon in the fourth house. Barter and trade from foreign lands can be one of the meanings of the 12th. If you're thinking of purchasing property in a foreign land, this could be a good development, a sudden opportunity, or a sudden development that brings goodness to real estate and foreign lands for some of you, Gemini, sun, moon, and ascendant. People, I'm gonna keep it simple. That's about it. Cancer, sun, moon, and ascendant. Look for this fruiting and fruition of the full moon in your third house of siblings, short-term trips and travel. And I've got some weird light in my window here. Sorry, guys, I'm half shadowed. And education you could do for skill-based learning, maybe even your own teaching to teach something. So if you have an opportunity to learn something or to teach something, for some of you, Cancer, sun, moon, and ascendant, the moon really shines a fruition and a fullness here. And it opens up good surprises and developments from that Taurus-Uranus placement. Now, Taurus and Uranus in Taurus is trining this energy of teaching, travel, and siblings from the 11th house of groups you belong to, friends as allies and benefactors, your hopes, dreams, and wishes, as well as great financial gain from one's career choice from the 10th house. So, a lot of you Cancers are cut out to, end story, pioneer something, to be a frontline person, to go outside the box, Aries in the 10th. And some of that energy now is maybe yielding some rewards for you. I find people in the 10th, Aries 10th house to be synthesizers of ideas as well, to create something new in a new cocktail of ideas. So right now you've got Chiron up there asking you to be a guide or a mentor, a teacher, or to heal your career disappointments, to align purpose and career. And this is happening for quite a while, guys, so until like next 7 years, but it's a general theme. I would say that, this Uranus piece, big one, good news coming from the groups you belong to, or the associations you have by choice. I belong to the Association of Astrologers or something like that, or I belong to the community of yoga people. And it can be online communities as well. Leo, sun, moon, and ascendant, looking at a lot of action here happening for you guys with the fruition of your money house, right? Earnings, your voice, your vocation, your self-value, self-possession, but certainly your resourcefulness around getting your needs, your money and your home and your security, all your basic ascendant needs met. The second feeds the first. So this is a fruiting here, a fruition. Again, even though Alioth is there, it is perseverance, as I said, the other meaning, work and courage to bring out your strength, persevering and patience to get results. But those results can also have a sudden jolt of goodness or a positive surprise from the 10th house of your public reputation and your career itself. So some of you Leos are going to get some sudden good news from the career zone of the chart that positively impacts your money story. Any of you who do career work in online work with Uranus up there, it's also could be coming, that some new development, like a viral video or a viral product or something going crazy. And oh my God, the money's coming in. So that's just one possibility. Could be some good news in the office, like a shuffling of the personnel and you get the top position, or they give you freedom. Uranus is freedom in your work that allows greater money, good money news for you. Let's think positive, right? Virgo, sun, moon, and ascendant. This is going to be the fruition of a full moon in the house of your body, your identity, your sense of the character, the Virgo character you're here to play. Now, Virgo, health routines. You might just start a cleanser, a new nutrition program with this full moon here. And you may really take into account that perseverant quality and patience required by Alioth. If you have hormonal or fertility or, issues with that, like menopause or whatever, or heavy periods or something, you might find a healthy new direction to go to tame or work with that stuff to improve your health. Now, the good surprise coming from Taurus and Uranus territory in your chart is up in the ninth house of Dharma, soul, God, truth, wisdom, religion, but higher education as well. So if any of you are like a student in college or university or any long-term course of study, some positive new development may show up, even an opportunity to learn something that's outside the box of what you normally would want to learn. So good news, though, or good sudden surprises coming from your house of higher education. Now, it's also the house of foreign lands. And for some of you who are not students, maybe some good opportunity to take a trip, or some good news arriving from a foreign land unexpectedly that benefits your sense of well-being physically and the character that you're playing, and especially in terms of health. The moon on the ascendant is let's improve, full moon, fruit into new, better health regimes and protocols. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. Libra, sun, moon, and ascendant. This is a fruition and a fullness in the house of past lives, dreams, meditation, the house of your self-undoing, any ways you undo yourself, house of hidden enemies. But it's a full moon and it's trying to bring goodness here. And it's got the support in this chart of that Uranian bolt of something unexpected but positive coming from the money house. This is like bank loans and mortgages and investment monies and spousal money and inheritances and stuff like that. So a bolt of goodness is showing up in the money house to your moon in the 12th. Because the 12th house can be barter and trade, money made from foreign lands, and it's both potentially about money. You could also say some really great money positivity, unexpected though, showing up for you thanks to this Uranus trine to this full moon. Scorpio, sun, moon, and ascendant. Let me just check my time. I don't want to be late for my client. I know, guys, this is total triple Aries energy where I do things in a hasty way. But I'm motivated. I got a time. That's why I was a journalist. I have deadlines. I love deadlines. Okay. Scorpio, sun, moon, and ascendant. This is a fruiting full moon in the 11th house of great financial gain from one's career, karmic rewards, windfalls, pennies from heaven, hopes, dreams, and wishes, people that are connected to you, you belong to by choice, like shared ideals, values, and goals. So this groupie energy, is where the fullness is happening for Scorpio, sun, moon, and ascendant folks. And it's also, don't forget, can bring good financial gain during this time, the full moon, especially 2 weeks after. Surprising though, remember. So what kind of surprises? Well, Uranus is hefting the surprise load from the house of business partners, clients, audience, other, and marriage partners. So if you're married and you are a Scorpio, sun, moon, and ascendant, maybe some good news from your marriage partner that brings your own hopes, dreams, and wishes closer to the forefront, or benefits both of you, but especially you financially, okay? If you're into business and have business partners or clients, a breakthrough there can actually enhance your financial well-being in that 11th house. So it could roll out as also reputation, a little bit of success, a little bit of fame can happen in the 11th house with the full moon. And Uranus is the god of the internet in the house of audience. So if any of you Scorpios are doing online stuff, it could be a nice little breakthrough, a little bit of stardust on you. Little Andy Warhol, 15 minutes of fame. All right, Sagittarius, sun, moon, and ascendant. This is you're going to encounter fullness, a full moon in Virgo, opening up the 10th house, and that is your career. And so a lot of you Sagittarius, is sun, moon, and ascendant, will find something really exciting going on in the work zone, career zone of the chart, or your reputation in the world. And the happy, sudden, juicy surprise that maybe Uranus might deliver on that moon, that's going to happen, here he is, from your 6th house of work. Work routines, health, and health routines. So, I mean, a 6-10 combination is really often very much just about good news in your work. Sudden, unexpected surprise, it brings goodness, fullness, and fruition, but you require patience, perseverance to get the full results with Alioth. But Alioth being the creation and destruction energy as well, what is going to be created through maybe an end or a collapse or destruction of something that is in the workplace but benefits you, you know? So it's good news for work and work, two kinds of work, and health as well. Capricorn, sun, moon, and ascendant, the full moon is in your ninth house on 27th of February. The ninth house of God and religion and mysticism and spiritual truth and soul and foreign lands and higher education. All of those apply, Capricorns, to where something is coming into fruition and fullness. Now, the good news surprise is coming from the fifth house of your children, your creativity, your independent business enterprise, your muse. It is also the house of money luck as well. So just going to plant that seed. A lucky money break. I would buy a lottery ticket, but does it allow ninth house developments? Like, I'm going to move or travel to a foreign land. Anybody who's thinking of writing a book, because this can be the book publishing house, then this could be a download from the muse, a giant inspiration, a sudden aha about a creative project that you're working on. Some of you Capricorn, sun, moon, and ascendant. So this is a romance house, and romance from a foreign land, a sudden romantic trip, a chance to travel for romance. Possibly any of those could apply. Here's my sign, Aquarius, sun, moon, and ascendant. Wow, guys, see what we're going through? The stellium is finally lightened up, of course, by the 27th. This says 28th, but don't pay attention because Venus has moved into Pisces. Hallelujah. She's exalted there. But I would say that this stellium has been a lot of energy for us. I felt like I got 1,000 people talking inside of me. And so what we get is us Aquariuses, this full moon in the 8th house of money. Now, this is money that is spousal, inheritance, bank loans, mortgages, leveraging. It's other people's money, benefiting from other people's money, a fruition in the house of other people's money. It's the 8th house of deep occult mystery, arcane knowledge, and wisdom. Secrets, taboo subjects as well. It's like the house of death and therefore rebirth. So with Alioth and the goddess energy, well, the star that represents destruction and creation in a house of death and rebirth, there could be a huge rebirth or a huge shift in how money shows up for some of us Aquariuses in our life. Less hustle and less work down here and more goodness. Now, hey, the axis is money and money, right? So work, salary, money. Nice to have an exalted Venus there right now for us Aquariuses, and more like the treasure chest and the vast vault of our money that we acquire through other people, business partnerships as well. So some good development in the 2 weeks that follow where some lucrative money opportunities may show up for us. And this jolt of surprise is coming from the real estate quadrant or the 4th house. Now that's the ancestral line and the mom as well, but it could be very ancestral line-ish too, because this Uranus has been trying to heal ancestral line stuff for Aquarius risings for a while. It's also called the nomad transit. So sudden moves and relocations, believe me, you got Uranus traveling through that 4th house Aquarians, and we're not going to stay put, right? I moved across the country from Vancouver to Montreal because of it, and who knows how long I'll stay put again. So it could be some good real estate news or developments in the home front that also propel some good monetary stories in your chart. Now, Uranus is doing the internet from home. So how you do the internet from home, Aquarius, sun, moon, and ascendants, can really ping your money story into some new trajectory positively over the course of the 2 weeks that follow February 27th. And don't forget, 6 months ago, the seeds were planted for this when the new moon was happening, okay, in Virgo. And this is the full moon in Virgo. So what Virgo season, right? Like August, September, the full moon back then is planted the seeds for the now. All right, last but not least, my lovely Pisces rising folk. So how lovely for you to have exalted Venus in the sun in your 1st house of your body. This is you feeling beautiful, getting your hair done, being more entitled, calling forth a little bit of your regal queen-like nature as you present yourself to the world. And you just might be feeling more beautiful and attractive and charismatic and friendly than you normally do. So there's just that. And then across the way, there's that moon, right? In the 7th house of audience, clients, other, and marriage partners and business partners. Some of you may partner up with new people for your work, or you might be getting new public exposure. Moon in the 7th can bring you chances like to be on a podcast or be seen on someone's YouTube channel or something like that. Uranus is popping the goodness from the house of siblings. So my sister's a Pisces rising, and I'm going to be asking her to step up and do more and more stuff on my YouTube channel in the next couple of months. So there's an example. And so I'm her sibling, house of siblings, Uranus, but it's also the house of teaching and learning. And so some of you Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendants will do some online learning perhaps and learn a new skill or trade and are engaged in that, but it will bring sudden surprising new developments and how you can feel good about yourself, sextile and ascendant, but also reach more people or have more influence. And this also will benefit your main partner, whoever that is, your beloved, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife. All right. A sudden opportunity to travel. This is a house of trips and travel domestically. Could also be opening up something in the 2 weeks that follow this full moon. All right. So, what else can I say? The 3rd house is self-expression and the house of writing. If any of you Pisceans are writers, this could open up a new inspiration for you in the writing department that benefits your clients, audience, other, and also brings you into greater harmony and joy within your own body and self. I love that you guys are having that transit of Venus right now. For you Pisces, this is just a good 3 weeks where she's going through your 1st house to really beautify yourself and really feel good and really feeling good about being you. All right, so I'm done. I literally called it to the 2 minutes before my client, guys. I can't believe I did that. Oh, whoop. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Like, subscribe, comment. Help my channel grow. I got algorithmically slammed a year and a half ago when I changed the name of the channel. And I'm just still trying to figure out that whether or not I can recover from that. I appreciate all of you who do tune into me regularly. Thank you so much. Bye all.